Hey, what's up everybody? In today's video I want to go over why the Panini NFT sports cards, both the UFC and the NBA, are so low and why you should see this as an opportunity to stack extras and have hope for the future that these prices will rise rather than despairing. And so I want to go over some of the reasons why this is so. Let's get into that right now. Okay, so if you spent some time in the secondary market, you've seen what these low prices look like. But I'm just going to assume that you haven't, and so let me show you what I mean. I've decided to take an example of an NBA player and a UFC fighter that most people who might not even watch the NBA or the UFC probably know. So that, it's just not some, young draft pick who's nobody's heard of, or a bum player, but a well-known player. So this is Vince Carter, one of the best dunkers of all time. And as you can see, his base card here, which is only limited to $17.99, not high at all. And you can see right now that there are ones available for $2, $3, $4. Now this is an auction, that is true. All these go for 24 hours, but as you can see, there's like 1 hour, 2 hours left, and there are no bids. So likely, if you put a bid on this right now, you would likely get it. Also, you can see there is buy it nows for $5, so guaranteed if you wanted to click this for $5, you would have it in your collection. And so there are several Vince Carter cards that you can grab for $2, $3, $4, $5. And these are all limited to $17.99. You have a really good legendary player at an extremely low cost. And specifically when I talk about a low cost, I do have NBA Topshot in mind because that is the most fair comparable. That's the only other licensed NFT project. Okay, so Vince Carter actually only has 2 moments here on NBA Topshot. One that's is at a 49, that's not a good comparable, but this one right here is a good comparable because it is a base card. So this here is not a rare card, it's not a legendary card, it is a base card from Series 1, and it is limited to 3,336. So almost double what Panini's is. And what is the lowest ask for that? Yeah, you're reading that right. $1,250. And for Panini, you can go over and buy it for $2, $3, $4 at half the mint count. What a steal. That's what I mean when I talk about low prices. Okay, let's go over to the UFC. This is Brock Lesnar. He was the UFC heavyweight champion, but you probably, if you don't watch the UFC, know him from the WWE as well. That's how I first got the introduction to Brock, as watching the WWF as a kid, before they switched to WWE. Anyways, he has several base cards right here. Look at this, current bid, $1, $2. This one doesn't even have a bid yet. $2, $2. We gotta buy it now for $5. Let's just use that one as an example. We do have 2 that are available for $5 as a buy it now. I think that is, yeah, we got a couple others, 4 or 6. Okay, so let's use these $5 buy it now right here. You could possibly even get it for cheaper because it's been live for close to 12 hours and there's no bids, and the current bid is $2. But if you wanted this card right now, $5. Now, Brock Lesnar, huge superstar. Superstar in the UFC, superstar in the WWE, just a celebrity overall. So lots of people, even non-MMA fans, would want this card. And look, not only what the price is, but look at what the mint count is, guys. 599. That's like a really rare card on Topshot. Now, I don't want to make the Topshot comparable because, this is MMA and not NBA. The other one was a more fair comparable. But you know what? That's even a good point. There's no comparable, guys. There's no other licensed UFC content. If you want a piece of the UFC that is officially recognized by them, you want a sports card, you have to come to Panini. It's the only game in town, which makes it even more rare. I mean, if you want to collect the NBA, you really do have 2 options. You can go to Topshot, you can go to Panini, you can collect both, but there is competition. Not so with the UFC. Panini is the only game in town and therefore deserves a premium because all UFC fans have to come to Panini. And this card right here, $599, and it's only $5, guys. Come on, you know how low this is. And so this is another one here, $3 with 2 hours remaining. You could probably grab that for $3. It's limited to 999. So this one here is the better deal, but the point is several of them you can get for quite cheap. Look at this one here, guys. This one has one bid on it at $2. Limited to 199. Now, I know a little bit about this marketplace. It's not going to end up at this price. It probably will come in somewhere around that $6 to $10 range. Probably even under $10, $6 to $8 range, but still, 199, just crazy. And so I hope I've made the point that the Panini marketplace is just really, really valuable. Now, we're going to get into the reasons why in a moment. But first, I want to show you a video clip. Now, I'm also a Topshot collector, and when I got into Topshot, I started, watching some YouTubers who knew it well, just so I could learn from them. And one of the first people I started learning from is Jennifer, and she is a content creator for Topshot. And what I found interesting was she was in Topshot from day one. And so that was in October 2020, I believe she said she started collecting. I signed up for Topshot in March 2021, but because it was at the height, I didn't start buying until I think it was May 2021. I didn't want to buy in while everything was elevated and out of my price range. I wanted to wait for it to fall, and when I thought it fell enough, then I started buying. And so what I want to show you now is a quick clip of her explaining what Topshot was like in the early days, and then I'm going to give you guys some hope.
I mostly bought S1 rares. Back then, I really didn't see the value in S1 commons at the time. My sister's like, Jen, just buy S1 commons, like they're only $1, like, and I was like, oh, fine, I'll pick up a Chris Paul for $3 because he's there's like a 3-digit for $3, I guess I'll buy it. I ended up at like the recent peak on like January 25th or something. I ended up flipping a Chris Paul that I had gotten from a pack for like $150 or something. And at the time, like they were going for $1. It was just crazy. Like you could scoop up some really great players for cheap. But basically, the way things are going now, like it was not like that back then. It was not like that in October. Most S1 commons were going for like, $1 to $2, and there were only a couple thousand people, buying from the market. It wasn't super crowded. I remember like in the Discord, like people were complaining that there weren't enough users. We were like begging them to start marketing because, at times there were just packs available and like nobody was buying them. Like there weren't enough users at the time, so prices were just cheap, and it really wasn't volatile. It wasn't worth it to sell at the time, so I really didn't sell anything. And since I had forgotten about Topshot, for basically the month of like November and December, practically, thankfully I didn't really sell anything until like actually the peak. So that was nice. I've like 10x'd my initial investment. Initially invested a couple $1,000s into this, and my portfolio is now worth, I don't know, whatever it shows right here. I think like 44,000 or something. So it's been a fun journey.
I love that clip because to me it's just so reminiscent of what we're seeing here on Panini. Did you hear what she said? She's buying Chris Pauls for like $3, and there's a bunch of them sitting around on the market for like $1, and there's not many people buying them. Well, doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't that sound familiar? Chris Paul, look at this, $2, $2, $2, $2, $2. Several of these guys, no bids, no bids, no bids. You can buy it now, $4 right here. Chris Paul's, and these have a lower mint count than Topshot. Now, I'm not going to give you false hope that these are going to rise to $150 a card like what happened with Topshot. But that's not out of the realm of possibility. Panini is a well-respected brand. These are licensed content. This is early days. the potential is there. But it doesn't have to rise to that. The point is that they're so incredibly low right now, they can't go down much more, if at all. The prices have to come up because they're so close to the ground. The ground is $1. You can't sell for under $1, and these are at $2. And so the potential for upside is just so much higher. And so I really feel like when I hear these people talking about the early days of Topshot before it just exploded and everybody was making crazy money on all types of cards, scrubs and great players, cards for $1 going for $150, I just see there's so much potential in Panini to explode upwards, even if it doesn't go to that level, but it can. Okay, so let's get into the reasons why the Panini NFT prices are so low. The first reason is just what happens in a normal market when things are at the beginning stages. So here's what happened. First, Panini has been doing the NFT packs of NBA cards for less than 2 months. And at the time of recording of this video, they've been doing the UFC cards for just over a week. So this is extremely early days, guys. And so here's what happens, is that when they do pack drops, they're not getting just savvy collectors and people who really want this. They're also getting a lot of speculators, people who don't know what the NBA, they don't watch the NBA, they don't watch the UFC, maybe they don't even really know what NFTs are. They just heard, hey, there's a way to make money, there's some hype, or maybe they just want to see if they can grab a Conor McGregor or a LeBron James, and if they don't, they're out. These are fickle collectors, people who are just looking to make a quick buck, and there's nothing wrong with this. I'm that for Funko. I just bought some Funko packs and have roped them to sold the unsealed ones because I'm just trying to make a couple bucks. I'm not disparaging them. I'm just saying that's a reality when something is new and hot and hyped. You're getting a lot of people who are just looking to quickly flip a quick buck. Maybe they'll open the packs and just see who they got. They don't know who these players are, so they just dump them on the market and they keep the one LeBron card, And so the first stage is full of people who are quite fickle and don't really see much value or don't know the value of the things that they hold. And so what happens is when there's lots of supply, they dump that on the market. And with so much supply, especially in the early days, you have a low customer base because it takes time to build up customers. The longer you're around, likely the more customers you have. So when you have lots of supply and a low amount of customers, it drives the prices down. So especially near the beginning, it's kind of normal for the prices to come near the floor. And remember, that was what it was like in the early days of Topshot too. The prices were grounded. You were able to pick up lots of Series 1 moments for $1 or $2 or $3. They were quite low, and that's what we see here with Panini. So that's normal. So what happens is when these cards are dumped on the market, then you have kind of wave 2. Now you have collectors, people who value the UFC and the NBA. They watch them, they know these people, they see deals, and they say, oh wow, that's a great rookie card, oh man, he's got a main event fight coming up. He shouldn't be selling for that low, and so they go scoop them up, or maybe they buy multiples of them, and so they start to buy up some of the supply, and some of the supply comes up, and you have a transfer of cards from people who value it less to people who value it more. Now, a part of economics you need to understand is that value is added with a trade. If you have $2 and you have a Vince Carter card, if you sell that for $2, you're saying you value the $2 more than the card. And then somebody else comes along and they value, let's just say they buy it for $5. So they value the Vince Carter card more than their $5. Value is increased with trades as you move from people who value it less to people who value it more. And so the more times this happens, that cards move from person to person to person, usually you're having an increase in value. Of course, there are people who have to sell, somebody's rent's due and they just have to dump it at whatever price. There's things that happen that kind of don't make that a rule, but that is a generality, which is true. And so during these early days, you're going to have savvy investors going and scooping up deals and buying multiples of them. And then if you have a small or a stagnant market, so a small customer base, or there's not much happening, maybe the company's not doing much promotion or something like that, then you're going to have just collectors trading between collectors as cards move from those who value them less to those who value them more. So in order to move out of that stage and to have an extra price jump, that already increases a bit of a price jump, going from, fickle people who just buy packs and don't really know what they have to those who value them more. But then to get to the next stage, you have to have an increase in customers. And so once the trading is done between, the initial base of people, who know what they have and they do value them, they're not usually willing to let go of their cards. Let's just say you went and bought that Vince card for $5. Typically, if you're a savvy investor who sees the value in it, you're usually not really willing to let go of it unless you're making a profit, or at the very least to break even. And so the prices, then you're looking for extra customers to come in for those prices to come up even more. And so that's what happens is as time goes on, and if Panini is doing its job well, this is, and also not just Panini, this is the community too. So this is why, when you're posting about, your Panini NFTs on Twitter or on social media and Discord, you're helping to promote the brand as well, which will attract other people to come and join. And as new fresh blood comes in, that adds more customers so that the prices can rise again. And so this continues to keep happening over time, and as more and more customers come in and you have the limited supply, remember guys, there's only 999 concourse and there's only 1799 base NBA. They're not going to print more. The supply is limited. But then when you have more customers and the same limited supply, it drives the prices up. So that's the general market explanation for why the prices are low now. It's just because of the stage that we're in right now, guys. We're a couple months removed from the first NBA packs, and we're only a week after the first UFC packs. You got to give time for the market to mature. But as we and Panini promote the product and we have more people joining, we can expect these prices to rise. And so you have to not expect quick flips. You have to buy with the anticipation that the platform is going to grow and that there's going to be more customers, which will drive the prices up. So my personal recommendation of what I'm doing is I'm buying things I see value in, things I see that are undervalued, and I'm not interested in selling. I still am selling a couple pieces here and there, like, if I'm not going to do a challenge, I'll sell the challenge cards. Or, I might sell a really rare card that maybe I pull in a pack to free up some extra money. But the bulk, I'd say over 95% of my stack of NFTs, I am not selling right now because I believe that they'll have way more value in the future. And so I think that's the way to go. It's currently a buyer's market. I think that we're in the early stages of where Topshot was in the end of 2020. And I'm excited, and I'm buying more, and to me, that gives me a good explanation for why the prices are low and gives me hope that they will explode upwards one day, and hopefully not that far away. Okay, guys, until next time, peace out.